Bif Mills. We will keep you on the ball with our variety of guests and of course your calls, discussing the facts and the stats and sharing your opinions. Get on the ball and stay on the ball by tuning into On the Ball with Troy Bif Mills on WINN FM 98.9 every Tuesday night from 7 to 9 p.m. and also on Facebook and YouTube. Be on the ball. Do you want to know what's happening in sport? Tune into On the Ball, a weekly tour show which is on WINN FM 98.9 every Tuesday from 7 to 9 p.m. with me, your host, Troy Bif Mills. We will keep you on the ball with our variety of guests and of course your calls, discussing the facts and the stats and sharing your opinions. Get on the ball and stay on the ball by tuning into On the Ball with Troy Bif Mills on WINN FM 98.9 every Tuesday night from 7 to 9 p.m. and also on Facebook and YouTube. Be on the ball. welcome. Good night. Hold on. In some places, morning, so good morning. And in some other places, got to be afternoon, so good afternoon. And in some place, today is yesterday. And in other places, today is tomorrow. That is just how the time zones go across the world. Welcome to another edition of On the Ball here at WINN FM 98.9. I am Troy Bif Mills, your host. And with me, my production manager, Raspy of Tough House Sounds. Good evening, Raspy. How are you doing tonight? And speaking about good evening, I have quite a few people to say good evening to. Why? I'm going to get in trouble if I forget some of the name. There's a Rastaman up Newtown. Every time I go by Albertine for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, he there. And Rastaman from Newtown, really sorry. I'm going to go get your name. Then we have Larnett, what's your title is? Somerset. Yes, Larnett Somerset. She over in the Green Valley. I think she from up the village, you know. But she gone Green Valley to live with the better half or the better three quarters, as the case may be. Good evening, and Larnett, and good evening to the better half or better three quarters. Her name Griffith? Either Griffin or Griffith. Good evening to Anna Hull over there in Green Valley as well. And I can't forget my charming lady, Evie. Right, girl, Evie, I forget your name, you know. Evie Morris Phipps. Evie Phipps Morris or Evie Morris Phipps up there in Manchester Avenue. She's blind, but she knows her way around the house and her way around the kitchen. When I go up by her to visit her, I'd be frightened, you know. She walking, going to the house, and I hear sitting up in case she boot up and fall and stumble, but I don't be the one booting up. Could you imagine she walking to the house, she blind, and she ain't booting up and nothing, and I'm the one going and I booting up. Good evening to you, Evie, how are you? And who else we have, boy? We got a couple people in Sunny Point I needed to identify. And I heard, what I'm saying I heard, no? Montclair Tito's, what your title is, boy? Montclair, what your title is again? Tito. I know it's not Montclair Samuel, but from Green Valley. What kind of name is that, Montclair? That's the male version of Willie Mina and all them kind of things, you know. Hey, maybe I should name one of my daughters Willie Mina, you know. What you guys think? Montclair Samuel. Tito from Molyneux, he's up in Ontario, Canada. Good evening, Stud. Stud was down here in the Christmas. Why, if you every day, every week to say you're going to do it, you know, and you ain't doing it. But anyway, good evening to you guys. Welcome to another edition of On the Ball here at WINN FM 98.9. And I'm hoping that this year we'll be able to get some sponsors so we could do a few things, have a few giveaways, ask some questions, football, cricket, basketball, like when is a man offside, or what is a LBW, them kind of things. In basketball, what is traveling, in netball, what is contact. But you have to give me the answers. But that is down the road when we get the sponsors. In the meantime, I don't know if my producer might be willing to sponsor a thing or two, or I don't know, chicken meals or top-ups or whatever. But we're going to work on all these things. This is a new year. And we have some bright ideas. We have some brilliant ideas. We want to put it in and get a little more excitement in the year. Who knows? One of these days, one of these nights, Raspy, we might do the show from down the ferry terminal and something about go down work here and do the show from over there. Something to put some excitement. But hey, if you're celebrating birthday today, we say happy birthday to you. If I could have sing, I would have sung you the happy birthday. But I guess if I sing, everybody going to stone me. And if you're celebrating an anniversary, happy anniversary. And when it comes to bereavement, today has not been the best day for me. The past 10 days or so haven't been the best period for me. As one, we lost Mr. Urban Egbert Freeman, and he was laid to rest today. We lost him. He has transitioned to the great beyond, and he was one of our table tennis coaches, extremely reliable. And I can remember when I first saw him come through the table tennis thing, this man rolling with about 5 suitcases and about 7 bags over his shoulder. And I started thinking, boy, he look like I go talk to his wife. He look like
he messed up and she throw him out or something. Only to find out when he put them down, while they going to talk to him, ask him what happened, why the madam kick you out, give you a marching ticket, and dig in and start to take out rackets and nets and cones and balls and most and many things. And he said, oh, okay, table tennis equipment. So we lost him. He was buried today. And late last week, sometime last week, we lost Ballage, the footballer. I can't remember his full name, but from Spurs. Used to play for Blackburns, played for Spurs. And I was thinking, I initially said, I know he scored a goal from the corner, but I said I don't remember if I was there. But I've been thinking about it, and I believe I was. It was in the Warner Park, the playing field was down below, where there was the old Carib stand. I don't know how much people remember that. People used to stay there and watch cricket in the center pitch and in the NHC pitch. And I think he took the corner from the end by the pavilion, that Carnival Village end, and that's the western corner. I think he took it right-footed and he curved into the net. But I believe I saw it, I'm not certain, but I know he did it. Well, he has gone to the great beyond, and a humble guy, a cool guy, but he gonna take you on in any argument. You ain't gonna brush him over. He has gone to the great beyond, and the third person involved in sports is Waldo. They call him Nevis. He's from Sandy Point. He worked in the sports department from 1992, I think it was. Is it 1992? And he retired in 2017. No, man, I think it's more than 92. Maybe 82. Because he had 35 years. And he loved a bad domino. And he could have played. He could have really played. I think he played for the Ox Kings domino team out of SP, where the best be. And I think they were really the first organized domino club in St. Kitts. Yeah. I remember them from the 70s. They're going Nevis. They're going all over the country playing people. They went Statia, I think. They went Bermuda. I think they went St. Martin. They went the VI, I believe, to just play fun for the weekend. And they never used to play with signs. But you got some good players in the club. At least 2 players in the club who represent the national team, the bad on a sign. But Ox Kings never used to play signs. My uncle, the late Andrew Weeks, he was part of it. He was the treasurer. And he believed he could have played domino, and he could have played. So we say condolences to all those 3. Urban Freeman, the table tennis coach, Ballage, the footballer, and Waldo, cricket grounds administrator. Can we just have a short moment of silence, Raspy, for them? Well, because we're live and here, we don't want a lot of dead time. So it's just going to be a few seconds. I crave your indulgence as a mark of respect for those 3 gentlemen who have passed and for their contribution to the sports arena in some way, size, shape, or form here in the Federation. Ballage even played for the national team in the first Caribbean Championship. Bridges was the coach, I think. That was perhaps back in the 80s. Ballage played from the 70s to the 80s. I'm not certain if he won any championship with Spurs. I don't remember if Spurs won any championship back there. But, Raspy, may we have a moment of silence, please? Just a few seconds in reverence and respect for these 3 sporting icons. May they rest in peace. My apologies for it not being longer, but this is airtime and you can't afford to have nothing being transmitted. People start to wonder if the station is off, etc., etc. So that's the bereavement. If you've had any birthdays between last week, Wednesday, and yesterday, happy belated birthdays. Same thing with anniversaries. If you're going to have any anniversary between tomorrow, God's Spear, Wednesday, and the next week, Monday, God's Spear, happy birthday in advance, happy anniversary in advance. And hey, we forgot one. Congratulations. If you got a new wig, a new fingernail I don't know, new lipstick, new pair of glasses, new dress, new shoes, new bicycle, new boyfriend, new girlfriend, new wife, new husband, new baby, of course, congratulations to you and your job, promotion in your job, a new vehicle. I don't know, a new land, house, congratulations to you. And that is a wonderful moment, a proud moment. No, anything in terms of greetings and salutations, I think I covered that. But hey, do you know all kind of things happening in the sporting world? We have Leewards females. They created history down in St. Vincent in Cricket West Indies' T20 Blaze. That's the T20 competition. Leewards clean up everybody in the group stage. Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana, Jamaica, Windward Islands. They went to the finals, they played Barbados. They cleaned up Barbados for a second time in the finals. When they won their first 5 matches in the group stage, they created history. Because according to my research, no other team ever win all the matches in the group stage. They might lose the first one, come back win the rest. They win all of them, lose the last one before they go to the playoffs. They might lose one here, one there. They make the playoff and they win. Leewards clean up every single body. And Barbados, they clean up twice in the group stage and in the final. Some good things happen in the tournament, but some very, very concerning things happen in the tournament as well. Guyana and the Windward Islands, they did make a century. Guyana made 2 99s and I think the 97 Windwards had a 99. So those are the only 2 countries that didn't make, and when I say a century, 100 or more in any match. An interesting thing happened in a game. Jamaica versus Barbados. Jamaica, they made 110 for whatever in their 20 overs. Barbados went to back. Barbados make 111. The 110 by Jamaica was the second 100 for the tournament. Leewards in their first match in the first round, they made the first 100, 108 I think it is. Then the second 100 was by Jamaica. Barbados, the third 100. The fourth 100, Leewards come back and make 106. The fifth 100 was, I believe Leewards again, I can't remember. 111, I think. Jamaica made 2 centuries. The one against Barbados, and in the playoff, they made an even, I think it's 104 against somebody in the playoffs. And Jamaica, they came 5th. The Windwards, they played the Windwards for the 5th and 6th place. 5th place, they came 5th, winning that. Then Trinidad made an even Steven 100 against Guyana. Or is it the other way around? I think Jamaica made an even Steven 100 against the Windwards, and Trinidad made 104 against Guyana. That was in the playoffs as well. In the first round, when Leewards played Barbados, Leewards made 118, which was the highest score of the tournament. And that is one of the concerns. 118, the highest score by the females in a T20 tournament. Really, more was really being desired, but they won the match. It's 100 and it was the 100. It's like Kim Collins when he won the World Championship in 10.07. A lot of people say that's a slow time, and it was a slow time, but guess what? It was the fastest time in the world for that race. And so Jamaica made 200s, Leewards made 4. Leewards made 4. And the concern for the Cricket West Indies about the batting, you have 1. Only 8 out of 15, 18 matches, teams got over 100. 2, most times, on an average, 3 batters, well, the average can be less than 3, but let's use 3 as the average. 3 batters got into double figures. And 11, 13, 17, 10, and sometimes when 1 or 2 persons get into double figures, only one get 30-something, 40-something, maybe even 50-something. So that's a concern. 2 and 3 batters. I think maybe once, no more than twice, 4 batters got into double figures, with 2 or 3 of them getting in the teens. So that's a serious concern for the West Indies. They need to fix the scores and also the number of batters getting into that. There were, I don't think no centuries were scored, which is another concern again. They had a few 50s. Hey, why am I trying to commit all of this to memory, Biff? You come from the funeral and you look like you're still upside down, Biff, and you could go to, oh boy, no, wrong side. I need to go to windyscricket.com, and then we go down here to the T20 Blaze, and then I'm going to have all the information for you at my fingertips. Thank God for technology. Here we go. Matches. Going to sound like I know what I'm talking about. 89, 96. Lee was bat first, made 108 for 5 against Jamaica. Jamaica was 99. Barbados, Trinidad bat first, 97. Barbados, 99. Then we had the match 110, 111. Trinidad made 95. Win was 96. Lee was 106 against Guyana. Guyana got close, 99 all out. Lee was Trinidad. Trinidad made 74. Lee was 75. 86, 87. Barbados Windwards. 88, 87. Jamaica, Guyana. Lee was 118 against Barbados, 87. Now, the lowest match of the tournament. That was January 19th, which we did round 3. Guyana made 57. All out in 17 overs. Trinidad needing to get to 58 to win. They actually got their 58 for 13.2 overs. So 57 was the lowest total of the competition. 58 was the second lowest. I just said earlier Lee would scored 180, which was the highest total in the tournament. Who you think make the third lowest total in the tournament? Lee Woods. I'm not going to tell you how it is. Win was 99, Lee, Jamaica 100 to win. Trinidad and Tobago 76. Jamaica 79. Guyana, Barbados 92, Guyana 90. This is it. Windward Islands versus Leewards in round 5. The Windward Islands 69 for 9 from 20 overs, which really ain't a defendable score in T20 cricket, eh? But they made 69. Leeward Islands made 59 and won the game. How come? Rain come, mash up things, Duckworth system came in, so therefore the Leewards had to make 59 in 14 overs. They made 59 in 8.4 overs, 59 for 3. So that was the third lowest score of the tournament. Now, if we be a little strategic, I can understand teams and how they think. Leewards, every time they bat first, they make over 100 and they win. You win the toss. What are you going to do, Leewards? You going to put in Leewards to bat? I wouldn't. But these captains, I don't know what they hear about. In terms of the playoffs, number 1 play number 2 for the championship. Number 3 play number 4 for the bronze medal, 3rd place. Number 5 play number 6, consolation finals. Hey, I beat you. I come 5th, you come 6th. So if we look at the playoffs now, first game, Windward Islands, they ain't win a match. They got a few points because they had bonuses. Versus Jamaica. Who win the toss here? Just give me a sec. Jamaica won the toss and they decided to field first, which is coming a very popular thing in cricket, eh? You got a lot of men believe in no matter what the state of the pitch, you win the toss, you bat. I don't share that view. You win the toss according to the state of the pitch. You either decide to bat or bowl first. Some man wants to win the toss. They got signal, hey, I win the toss. Nobody got to ask nobody what the team going to do. The team going to bat. So, who batted first? Jamaica won the toss and said, Windwards, you bat. Now, how we go here? Windwards was what? And remember, this is for the 5th place. Windwards 62 for 9 in 20 overs. Jamaica 65 without lasting. What's going on here, boy? Jamaica 65 without lasting 3.4 overs. It look like they choose to come big. And see what I'm telling you? Windwards, Jamaica. Hold on, boy. No, that can't be. Something got to be wrong here, boy. The Windwards. Oh, I know something wrong here, man. One person got into double figures. 24. 7-0. Zaida James, the captain, batting a 3. He made 24 from 31 balls. 3, 5, 5, 3, 7, 2, 2, 4 extras. That was the Windward Islands' batting. Jamaica, how much they had to make again by? 65 the target. That means they had a lot of extras here. 2 batters, Rashida Williams, the captain, who was the wicketkeeper, West Indian player. 21 from 17 balls, 3 fours. Shedian Nation, West Indies player, veteran playing for forever. 23 from 12 balls, and these not out. 23 from 12 balls, that's a lot of wood she gave by. Hey, wow, forgive me. I was referring to the bat. Sorry, let me put this in perspective. When I said wood, I was referring to the bat. It's made of wood. Once ago, I think it was Clive Lloyd who tried a thing. He bought an aluminium bat, and he put some bat on somebody, I don't remember who. But when they appealed, the laws said all bats in cricket must be made of wood. No ifs, no buts, no baby. Wood. And 23 runs in 12 balls. That's a lot of stick, you know. And then there were 24 extras. So that was the 5th place. So Jamaica winning by 10 wickets in 16.2 overs. 16 by 60, 36, that's 96. 100 balls to spare. Even Steven 100 balls to spare. Wow. Where are we now? 5th place. 3rd place. Trinidad and Tobago in 3rd position. Guyana in 4th position. Guyana, who win the toss? I believe Guyana win the toss and put in Trinidad. Same thing I say, Guyana win the toss and elected to field first. I don't know why them guys don't do that. Win the toss and put in people. Trinidad were 104 for 7 from 20 overs. Guyana, they needed to get to 105. They only got to 97 all out in 19.4. And Trinidad won by, Trinidad won by 7 runs. Oh, forgive me. I was to have a guest with me tonight, and the guest couldn't make it. So therefore, I have to talk and talk and talk. And we could talk until tomorrow morning. We have all kind of sports to talk about. We got the first Grand Slam of the year, the Australian Open. A lady from the US knocked out a bigwig. Somebody equaled some other record. And this is a funny one. A gay gentleman from Brazil. He was the first openly gay to compete in the Australian Open. What I mean by that, he went on media and said, "Hey guys, I am gay." Hey, don't make a mistake, you me talking about me, you know. I see Raspy watching me kind of funny, you know, boy, Raspy. Man, in that, you know, Raspy, boy, time. But this is the, and the guy look handsome, you know, boy. I might even say, boy, I wish I was half as handsome as the man. A handsome guy, nice, black-looking, muscular guy, going to say, "Hey, I'm openly gay, I'm coming out of the closet, walking with skeletons, I am gay, I play in lawn tennis." He's the first open gay person to play in the Australian Open. In football and other things, hockey, you got gay people playing. Some of them in the closet still with all kind of skeletons. Some of them that come out, some of them you see 2 man kissing or 2 man kissing up and down the place. And I remember the first time I was exposed to that, you know. I think I was going England, it might have been 1990. So we had to go through Antigua to pick up the BA to go England. So we walking, going down to the plane. And he got these two men in front of me, man in front of me. They hugging up young and they walk into the plane going. Next thing the two men stand up in the middle of the thing to go to the plane, start to kiss. First time I see that, we're talking about in 1990. I was a little boy then, 1990, how old I be boy? 1990 I was 27. I know, I don't believe I was that old. 17. I know, no boy. What happened to me, maths boy? Anyway, I was a little boy. Going England, go do some training. The two men stand up, that's the first time in my life I see it. Poor me frightened. But all kind of things happening. But anyway, other gay people come out and say, hey, we gay. Some still in the closet afraid to come out. And some, they told them to call each other the husband, my husband. I wonder how did they work out. I think the women might say my wife. I don't know, but I ain't gonna find out, eh? You could find out and let me know. I ain't gonna find out. But we have the Australian Open. We have Senegal, Morocco, African Cup of Nations. I afraid the internet, guys. I afraid. Why I afraid? AI. AI is extremely good, but extremely bad. Because I got a lot of malicious people in the world. These guys going and they bring up something about AI. As a sportscaster, I afraid, I really afraid to check the internet. I don't know what is fact and fiction. I don't know what is real and what is AI. You might see something, the clip look everything right. But you start to research on internet, you ain't seeing or hearing nothing. Some mischievous person put up something. Now, in summary with Senegal and Morocco, that match was played in Morocco. Morocco never win the African Cup of Nations before. Senegal win it once in 1980-something, 90-something, I don't know. After 90 minutes, they gone into extra time. The extra time, they have to play the full 30 minutes. Before, it used to be like that, and then they change it to sudden death. Who score win, and I think they change it back right now to full time. I love the sudden death thing. Because some teams, they don't play defense because they know they got good kickers, good goalkeepers to stop the penalties. So they play for the end. But I believe in sudden death, losers rush. As soon as you start the extra time, you score, that's the end of the game. That's my personal view. Not the view of WINN FM and Raspy and all of that. My personal view is I love the sudden death. Just like in cricket, I do not like this, what you call it, Duckworth-Lewis system at all. Nobody's supposed to make 115 and the next team go make 140 something as an example to win. You make 115 when you come, you reduce the overs accordingly. They used to do it by average. So for example, if you're playing a 20 over match and 100 over, the team make 100, you're going to make 100 to win. And rain come for 5 overs, they divide the 100 by 20, which is 5 runs an over. Check with 5, 25. So therefore the team got to make 75. Simple maths. I like that. I believe in that. But hey, who am I? The clubs them say, the countries them say that's what they want. But Morocco, in the 94th minute, I think it is, Morocco score goal. No, Senegal score goal. The referee said no goal, offside or whatever, I don't know. But it looked like nobody understand what happened. Only the referee understand. That's about the 94th minute. Maybe the 95th minute. Again, only the referee see what happened. He blew a penalty for Morocco. There's this type of kick called a panenka, where you kick the ball, not really powerful, but you kick it in the middle. Most times with the goalkeeper, they're in the middle of the goal, but when you want to kick, they're going to just pick a side. They're going to decide they're going to dive right or they're going to dive left. Most times, I try to watch you and figure out and look at you, because sometimes you look up, you watch the corner where you're going to kick last. So those are signs I used to, when I used to goalkeep in a different life. Those are little things I used to do. How the person turn the body, how they run in. Because if you turn your body so, the goal that way. Most times, you might look to kick so, but some people could twist the foot and push the ball. So, but anyway, the Panenka is, I think it's two things. Assume the goalkeeper going to run out the middle, go left or right, and kind of chip the shot. Rather than beat it with power, you chip it. And the guy chip it and the goalkeeper just move a little to the left and collect it. So, I don't know if that was blessing in disguise, poetic justice, people call it. You get a penalty that wasn't a penalty, you throw it away. So then, Senegal came. Sorry, I missed a part, I missed the key part. I think I know Senegal left the field. I know they left the field for about 15, 16, 17 minutes. And it was a decision that the referee made, I think. I'm not certain if it's when he disallowed the goal for Senegal or when he gave Morocco the kick. I think it's when he gave Morocco the kick. This whole Senegal team walk off the field. They off the field for 17 minutes. In football, once you do that, you forfeit in the game. You lose by forfeit. But Mane, one of the top players in England, captain, encourage the guys, come on. The coach tell them, come this way, no guys. Let's go this way, guys. Coach, guys, come, let's go. And they went. Now, Mane talk to them, guys, come on, we got a match, we could win this. Whatever he tell them, Senegal came back on. Senegal win 1-0. Everybody celebrating. What do you think happened? Morocco walk out, nothing to argue, so we ain't taking that. I saw an article say they're going quotes, but when it comes to FIFA and football, how should I put this? I don't want to mislead you, I don't want you to misquote me. How do they put this? They basically say, FIFA says that before you don't go courts, as in court of the land, high courts and magistrate court, you take the matter to the Court of Arbitration of Sports, that's CAS, in Lausanne, Switzerland, and whatever CAS say, you both abide with it, and no appeal. Do they have an appeal? I'm not certain. But this CAS thing, to give an idea how it works, it's just not with country and country. I'm from Sandy Point. Let us say I'm playing for SPAFA. SPAFA registered to play in the National Football Association. SKNFA, registered to play there. If I have an issue with somebody in my club, and my club suspend me or whatever, I could challenge their decision and it could reach all the way up here. SKNFA, and if I ain't happy, gone to CAS. So that's me internally in my club. If our club Krabil has a problem with SPAFA, as we had a few years ago, when was that? Sorry to digress, I have to talk about it because you got some people still blame me and Arno and Krabil for the mess of Sandy Point football. In 2000, one of the guys, the captain, who was the best, most informed player, Jabba, he got a red card. He did something and he was suspended from the 99 season for 2000. So the whole of the league, we ain't train. Krabil wasn't Krabil. We ain't doing no training, we ain't practice. And when I say training, every Sunday morning we used to go Cranston, St. Paul, go to the back of the mountain, go up Surgeries, Fies, Farms, Books, come down, go down the go and go play, go beach and all kind of thing. For whatever reason, that happened 2000. We lose every single match. But not only that, we get 0. If we play 7 matches, we get 7-0. We ain't even score a goal. We ain't even draw a match. The guy came back, Jabba, he came back for the knockout. The first game we play in the knockout, we get 2-1, and he scored the goal. That's the only goal for the season. The next year, 2001, and this is in the SPAFA League, the next year, my team was Krabil. We used to be sponsored by Scantel way back and then Cable and Wireless. The next year, 2001, we start to train because we work out what happened 2000, we ain't going to take that. And we're going on bad and we're beating everybody. Next thing we hear, Shushu Kwabili in pay. So how the system work? Somebody pay, and you're going to get back your money. So if I pay, I get back my money. If no pay, he get back your money. If the Bobby pay, and Mikey pay, whoever get it. So when Bogie pay, so when I start to hear this talk, everybody start, people calling me, Crabble man calling me, I calling everybody. By Bogie, you pay? Me ain't get to pay this year, no. I was busy, tied up. You pay? He said, by no, must be no. No, you pay? Mikey, you pay? Bobby, only to find out Crabble in play. But guess what? The secretary of the team, he gone me now. Secretary of the team, which was Cleverly Hill. We in the finals, when I think it's Lambert's in the final. But we start to hear the talk that we ain't pay. So I run home because the secretary looked to the back of me. I come down the road, come out my house, turn left, for about 5 yards, turn right, for about 20 yards, turn left again. Sorry, come out my house, turn left, 5 yards, turn left, walk for 20 yards, turn left, gone up again. Gone by him. Guys see him $150 here. Why no, sorry, we ain't collecting the money. They had a meeting, they say only 2 teams play. Lambert's and Cleverly Hill, so only the 2 of them going to play in the finals. That time Cleverly Hill ain't in it, you know. We sit down, we take it. In hindsight, we should have appealed to this SKNFA, but we take it. We come back in 2002. Lot of farm, vengeance and women. We clean up everybody. We used to play best of 3 finals in the league and the knockout finals. So we in the league finals against Lambert's. We in the FA, the knockout finals against Fig Tree. First game we play, I think we win 1-0, whatever. Second game we play, we win again. So therefore we are now the league champions and we're going to play for the knockout champions. The last game for the league. One fellow get a red card. Well, 2 fellas get a red card. So we don't know. The first game in the league the following year, that's going to be 2023. We got to leave them, 2003, we go leave them off. Because we ain't want to get them, take with the points. We write a letter to the SPAFA. James Buchanan, he was the president of SPAFA. He was also the general secretary of the St. Kitts and Nevis Football Association. Peter Jenkins was the president. We wrote a letter to SPAFA. Guys, this is what happened. Could you please clarify the rule for us? They didn't answer us. I called the secretary, who is now the president. He said, Boy Bif, once you get a red card in the league, you miss a league game, so your guys good to play, they're good to go. No, call him, tell him the same thing. That gentleman in Crabwell, I show you every year he only play about half the game because he get a red card, he come back, he get another red card. He and the secretary saw. He asked the secretary said, Bobby, once you get a red card, you miss in the league, you miss the thing. So we say, okay, fine, we play them. The vice president walking around, we lead in the game 1-0. The vice president walking around saying, Victory, don't worry, man. Even if they win the match, they lose the match. The vice president is SPAFA. Because they're playing 2 men who get a red card. The game was a Sunday and a Tuesday. I used to work cable and wireless then. I came home, take off my shirt. My ex-wife got me food there on the table, so I take off my shirt, warm up and I eating food. I hear the vice president outside my door. Bif! Yeah, the first time once I hear my know going on. Bif! I went out. See the letter in his hand, he give me letter. He told me 4 words. 4 words. You have been served. 4 words, and he give me a letter. And once he tell me that, I know what the letter contained. When he read the letter, call me, guys, set up a meeting the night and decide, boy, we're going to do that. We write the association, we write SPAFA. Tell SPAFA, guys, your secretary told us these are the conditions. This is the interpretation of the Constitution or the rules and regulations, which we followed. So, as far as we're concerned, we are the league champion, we are the knockout champion, which is what they didn't want to happen. Because the last time, this is 2002, the last time a team did that was in 1985. And guess who was the team? Crabwell. But that's what they want. So, we write them, say, hey, let's have a meeting to talk about this. Guys, either we win or If you give us the wrong information, okay, we're willing to play with the game, but we ain't giving up this thing. If you want to declare joint champions, you could do that. They write back and say, you're the league champion, fixture is the knockout, and that keep going. And after a while, we put an injunction in. It was finally resolved, but I say all that to say the courts thing. We went courts and put an injunction on the league. We were in the courts. The two lawyers asked Krabil, would you like to settle the matter out of the court system? We said, sure. The secretary was there for SPAFA. And my lawyer came back and said, Biff, he said he going to go ask the president, James Buchanan, which I expect no problem. But we don't meet Krabil. We don't organize. Well, guy, Biff, these are the options. A, B, C, D. If A happened this way, this is why we do B, blah, blah, blah. So I was authorized to make decisions on behalf of Krabil. That's how organized Krabil was. Next thing, the day after, 2 days after, my lawyer called me, Biff, James Buchanan, the president of SPAFA, said the matter stay in court. And people bluesing us still. After some time, the matter went come out. Y'all agree to go mediation. I say, yes, fine. Mr. Knight, Freddie Knight was the mediator. He asked, interview both teams, bam, bam, bam. Okay, guys, y'all willing to accept the decision? We say, yes. He wrote a letter to say, SPAFA, we schedule the game. Krabil, leave off the 2 man. We say, fine, no problem. Up to today, this is 2002, up to today, 2026, SPAFA ain't we fix the match yet. And Sean Richards, when he hadn't been in politics yet, but he's the one who resolved it in a meeting in Sandy Point with SPAFA and everybody. Whole of Sandy Point comes to Krabil game Barris. When we done state the case, Peter Jenkins asks James Buchanan, who is president of SPAFA and the secretary of SKNFA, he asked them 2 questions. James, you have heard what Krabil have to say. Do you have any questions? That was the first question, but then he take it back and he asks, is what Krabil is saying correct? He answered 3 words this time, more or less. Sean get up and say, hey, Mr. Chairman, could you have joint champions? They asked Krabil, say, we ain't got a problem. Asked the guy, we ain't got a problem. Next thing, he said, well, since you all got cash prize for the knockout champions and a trophy, I gonna put the other money for the knockout and the other trophy. Matter settled, just like that. And again, I say all of that. If we had to do it a little differently, if we had to do it again, we'll do it differently. But Senegal and Morocco, I'm really trying to find out what's the position. I'm hearing on research, I'm hearing that Morocco going courts. I'm hearing that FIFA, the African Football Association, CAF, I'm hearing that they took back the trophy from Senegal, they suspended them, and they declared Morocco the winner. I'm hearing. I'm not trusting what I'm seeing. I got some malicious people out there. Next thing, I'm hearing that FIFA suspend Senegal, and the suspension may run to prevent them playing in the World Cup starting 5 months from the time, which is another thing, because I understand that because of the president of the US and his travel ban and everything, 14 of the countries scheduled to play in the US in the World Cup, they can't go in the US. So that's another thing I need to investigate and research on. So I really don't know what happened in Morocco and Senegal. I really don't know. I'm seeing all kind of things on the internet, but this AI thing, I don't know. But we got to wait and see. But then, talking about football, let's come back home on the local scene. We have a clip that 5 players, well, I'm not certain I go investigate. I heard 5 was selected and only 4 going because the money was there for the 5th person to go. Is it 6 and the money was there for the 6th to go, so only 5 going. But whatever it is, I know 1 player ain't going because no money is there. According to the people also, no money in the day. Let's hear the clip. Mr. Raspi compliments Andre Huey, media consultant of the St. Kitts and Nevis Football Association. That's, well, my name is screwing it up. So we have that clip from Andre Huey We have a couple more clips. Let's hear that clip now. The audio from Andre Huey.
Part the federation this Monday, traveling to Poland to pursue opportunities in professional football. This major milestone follows the club's friendly football tour in the United Kingdom last year, where the team competed in a series of matches that attracted the attention of international football scouts. As a result of that exposure, 5 players earned the chance to take the next step in their football careers. They are Ronaldo Matthew, Mauricio Cranston, Jermad Huggins, Josiah Bradshaw, and Jamar Johnson. Assistant coach Kenroy Hodge described the achievement as an enormous opportunity, not only for the players, but for the club and the wider community.
It was always a thought process of the club, but it's just when we'll get here, we know that.
We'll keep talking. Let's go to a break.
Five players from the Deer Bay Eagles Football Club are set to depart the federation this Monday, traveling to Poland to pursue opportunities in professional football.
Welcome back to On The Ball here at WINN FM 98.9. I apologize. My guest was on no show tonight. And I've been trying to cut back from 2 guests. Give one a better thing. I might have to go back to it. But anyway, let us hear about Andre Huey. And let me put it in perspective. The 4 or 5 players who are going to Poland for tryouts. How they went to Poland? Trans Global Engineering Deer Bay Eagles, they won the first division last year, 25-26 season. And the manager, the coach, whoever decided, hey guys, because we are so pleased, let us go England for 2 weeks. And they went England for 2 weeks, playing some teams. And while they were there, some coaches, some, what they call them, scouts, saw them. And they say, hey, you 5 of you, come do some tryouts in Poland. So they left on Monday. But let us hear Andre Huey talking about them, talking to them.
5 players from the Deer Bay Eagles Football Club are set to depart the federation this Monday, traveling to Poland to pursue opportunities in professional football. This major milestone follows the club's friendly football tour in the United Kingdom last year, where the team competed in a series of matches that attracted the attention of international football scouts. As a result of that exposure, 5 players earned the chance to take the next step in their football careers. They are Ronaldo Matthew, Mauricio Cranston, Jermad Huggins, Josiah Bradshaw, and Jamar Johnson. Assistant coach Kenroy Hodge described the achievement as an enormous opportunity, not only for the players, but for the club and the wider community.
It was always a thought process of the club, but It's just when will I get here. We know that at some point will I get here. To me, it happened sooner than how we expected, but kudos to the management, president, for everybody making it happen. Yeah, it says a lot, and as I tell you, that's what we're really pushing for. And it just comes down to the hard work and everything that we put into these boys, fully supporting them. This is what we always wanted to do, you know. It's just bigger than playing football. It's always about getting the next stage, reaching to the next level, and now we get a chance to show the world what we actually could produce from down in the bay, and it sings on a whole, you know.
The 5 players also shared what the opportunity means to them, noting that while competing in the UK, they gave it their all on the field, fully aware that European scouts could be watching.
Well, it's a great feeling to have this opportunity. I wanted it from since I was in primary school, and now I have getting it, so it's time to prove that I really deserve this opportunity.
But yeah, I feel great having the opportunity. I wanted it a long time, just as well, when I lost it.
It's a great opportunity. As they say, we're happy, we're excited. Just for us to go out and perform, let you know how we could perform.
It's a real exciting experience. Getting the chance to go to Poland, showcase my skills, getting the chance to play in the big league. So
we were playing to our best out there, so the scout could see all of us. Basically, the scout picked 6 players, but unfortunately 1 ain't here. So the 5, we just got to take this opportunity and do our best.
Meanwhile, Coach Hodge appealed to the business community and the government to support the club's efforts, revealing that 1 additional player has been scouted but is currently unable to make the trip due to a lack of funding.
We still would like more support from the government to help initiatives like these, to help youths, to give them a dream, give them a pathway. So we're just reaching out to everybody who could support and help, and just help us create a better St. Kitts and Nevis by empowering youths.
Kalia Huggins, president of the DFB Football Club, has been instrumental in helping the team earn this opportunity. Parents and guardians interested in having their children train with the DFB Eagles Football Club and potentially access similar opportunities can contact 760-7212 or 767-7846.
Thank you very much, Andre Huey, media consultant for the St. Kitts and Nevis Football Association. I have about 27 questions to ask about this thing. I like the idea. I'm proud of the guys. And we've had situations in the past. Right now there's 1 player who went to Slovakia, Slovenia, somewhere in Europe last year, Tiquani Williams, I think it is, from Old Road. He went, and after a few weeks, he was back home and on loan to Old Road, Montreal Farms, Clean White United, Old Road. I'm hearing all kinds of stories. I'm hearing he homesick, he miss his girlfriend, he miss his child, he miss something, the music, the food, whatever, transportation, whatever. I'm hearing other things about products he used to use here that he can't use over there. And so he back home. That is not the first time that has happened. I think that happened on about 3 or 4 other occasions in football. Persons went. Now my question is, let's use this current situation. These guys gone to Poland. Poland up in Europe. Poland. The Poles, the Polish, they talk. What kind of language they talk? It's not English, but they talk that thing. There's a name, Polska. Can't remember, but Polish, they talk that. So that's number 1. None of these 5 guys could talk the language, and no matter how much interpreter you put with them, it's gonna be translation gonna be cumbersome. So that's 1. They can't talk the language. 2. It's a big culture shock, extreme culture shock, traumatic. The food up there can be different. Even if they eat rice and chicken, that will be completely different to what we produce. We cook rice and chicken down here. 2, the music, completely different. 3, the transportation system. 4, the weather. Right now it's winter freezing your backside off up there. Compared to, well, it's a little chilly down here in December, January. But a little chill. So you have that big culture shock. The food, the music. You can't call somebody and say, boy, let's go down the road, go line, go play domino, go play draft. Let's go kick. You can't. It's a professional environment. So you have to now adapt like an environment. How many of our players here in St. Kitts, no disrespect, St. Kitts and Nevis could survive in a professional environment? And I must say the FA said they want to go semi-pro. And the first thing they're doing from the second round, they're going to give the teams them gate receipts, 50%, excuse me, 50% in the playoff and another 50% for this and 50% for regular season. That is a good effort, but I think it takes much more. And I'm glad for the clubs getting a little change, but I think most of you would realize it takes much more than giving the clubs a percentage of the gate receipts to start being a semi-professional team. But it is a start in the right direction. It's a good idea. A lot more needs to be done. But come back to this culture shock. I believe the FA, working with the clubs, supposed to have some mentoring programs, some, what should I call it? Some programs where persons are talking with the players, telling them, hey, in case you get to go to, and I'm not talking about Trinidad and Jamaica and Caribbean countries. I'm not even talking about Cuba or PR. But we get an opportunity to go to these countries and try out 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, I don't know. These are the changes that are going to happen. You could run out your house, gone down there by Shackers, buy a $50 bread and cheese, I don't know, $50 bread and peanut butter, or maybe a whole bread with peanut butter. And let me interject here. I saw something very smart when Shaka used to set guys shop in Old Road. Guys used to come in and want a whole bread, but Shaka cut it in half. He put peanut butter in one half. So let's say a half by itself is $1. A half with peanut butter is $5. So all you're not paying $10 for 2 halves with peanut butter, because the guys them don't fold the other half now, and then they eat. So when they take a bite, they eat in half the bread without peanut butter, half the bread with peanut butter. So you're tasting peanut butter. Ingenious, I love that. So you can't run down there by Raspy and buy some lemonade or nothing. So somebody somewhere needs to be talking with the clubs, all the clubs and all the players, because you don't know who player going to get a good chance, and preparing them mentally. But not only that, they need to prepare them for interviews. I remember when Christine Walwyn, I think she was walking around the SKNFA. That's back in 2009, 2010, 11, somewhere there. And one of the things she recommended was training everybody for interviews, because some persons did some interviews back then and simply atrocious. So she had a suggestion, let's expose all the players to interviews, and I agree with you. And I agree with that. But anyway, so that system must be put in place to assist the players. And I wish them well. I really hope even one, I would like the 5 of them to be successful. Even one, even just one. And really hold out the end, because 1 brings 2 and 2 bring 3, etc., etc. And then everybody going to look to come run down the doors of St. Kitts and Nevis to try out. And 3 young players, they went to school in Jamaica. The security forces had a camp, and they had some scouts coming from Jamaica, US, England, and the scouts liked to see about 3 of them, I think it was. And he invited them, organized with the parents, to have them go to school in Jamaica, where they were going to school and playing football. So the players need more opportunities like these. But anyway, I congratulate the players and the Trans Global Engineering, the Eagles, for doing that. It's sad to hear that one of the players couldn't make it because of money, but that's how it is. Where we are now, the Minister of Sports, et al., he had a press conference today, quarterly press conference, and I commend him for that. And I have to say I commend this government for that, being a little more accessible to the public. You can ask questions. The PM has this round table thing, and then he has this monthly press conference or whatever. Martin Nevis, I think he had a press conference, was it yesterday or today, as well. So it's good to give the media access to the ministers, to the government. I mean, when you ask a question, when you finish, you don't remember the question, but you certainly ain't get the answer for the question. You get another answer, but not for the question you ask. And that's something I really don't like. And one thing I like the US media for is if you ask a question, let me put it this way. You go to a press conference in the US, by North America, I should say, and maybe Europe, with the Prime Minister, Minister of Health, whatever, and let's say health, and he's talking about the spanking $5.6 million they just spent to build a health center, a hospital, somewhere over so, not a $2 billion prison, hospital somewhere over so, and all of them gonna wait until he finish. When time for question, they ain't asking him nothing about the hospital, you know. Mr. PM, what is the position with you on the court case where you're accused of doing this to this lady or whatever? And they're going to, if you give them a run around, they're going to come back around. And if you call them, not certain, if you call them, what kind of stupid question is that? I don't know how they're going to work out. But let's get to the Minister of Sports. He had a press conference today, and I commend him every quarter he's having it. And a concern I had from since 2023, November, when I started doing this show, the St. Kitts and Nevis Aquatic Federation, they were the third national association. So late November, early December, because I started on the 7th of November, 2023. World Aquatics told them, hey, SKN Aquatics, get your government, give you, not lease, not rent, give you a piece of land, whatever dimensions, and we will come in and build an Olympic-sized swimming pool. That's in 2003. The minister addressed it this morning. He said something. But do you believe it's supposed to take an organization 2023 to 24 to 25 to 26, 3 years to get a piece of land from government? And I think he asked Nevis as well. And it's supposed to happen in my humble view. If I was the Minister of Sports or I was even the Prime Minister, and you come to me, okay, this is how we're going to do it. Pick 5 pieces of land anywhere in the country. Pick 5 in descending order, and then we're going to them. Why? Because maybe they might sell somebody land. Maybe he might sell the land. Maybe I don't know if it's in the bank still. Land for cash or cash for land or whatever. I don't know. But anyway, the question was asked today in the press conference, and the Minister of Sports answered it. It was asked by Mr. Glenn Barth of St. SKN Newsline. So let us hear Mr. Glenn Barth asking the question,
facilities,
and the Minister of Sports responding.
On St. Kitts in particular. Now, you have done some development in, well, the Kim Collins Stadium is completed, the economy facility as well, and a couple of others. Warner Park, which is going to be celebrating its 100th anniversary this year, will come under scrutiny. We can look at the football stadium, and you can look at the tennis facilities, and we see they are in dire need of repairs or complete restructuring, rebuilding. What is your plan for Warner Park's development this year? How much investment is going in, and what will the public see happen in time for this 100th anniversary celebration? That's the first part. We saw this morning some focus on water sports, and we have heard, people in the media have heard about at least 2 entities, I don't want to call names, have been pushing for the development of water sports training facilities on the island. using the ocean as a training facility for competitive sports is a bit of a difficult challenge. However, we are getting the impression that government is very hesitant about assisting these two entities, one on Nevis, one on St. Kitts, to go forward with these facilities. It seems to me that, from what I understand, the issue is perhaps location and land. So there is some hesitancy. Perhaps you can explain what really is the root cause for government's slow move, so to speak, towards the development of water sports training facilities, and let us know what is the intention, what is the aim in this particular area. Is that my two questions?
Yes, Mr. Bad, that was two questions. Thank you for both of them, actually. I would wish to begin to address both, and I would also share the floor with my permanent secretary in sports. And I will start with your second question first. Government is continuous, and as you regard the slow movement of government, I guess now being in government, we have to accept whatever happened before. But what I can say is that under my time here, we have been in constant communication with the Aquatic Federation. In fact, it was just over a month ago that we have indicated to them some lands that have been designated for their use to build an aquatic center. And that land is in Bird Rock. So this communication was already delivered to the Aquatic Federation over a month ago. So whatever happened before, I guess will have to, as a minister in government now, say that government may have not acted before on it, but we have indeed acted now. And we are organizing with them so that they could advance that for additional funding to get that aquatic center built. But those are ongoing scenarios as we speak. Now, going back to Warner Park. In my budget address and a number of other addresses before, I spoke to the conditions of our sporting facility on attaining this position. Kim Collins, dilapidated. Basketball City, dilapidated. Warner Park Netball, dilapidated. Warner Park Tennis, dilapidated. Warner Park Football, dilapidated. Warner Park Cricket, dilapidated. And we're not even going out into the communities because we'll be here all morning. These are all our national stadiums, all dilapidated. And while we said this, it's important to note that this comes on the heel of an administration that boasted about surpluses every year. Now, we have seen Kim Collins completely renovated. Basketball City, renovated. We have done some work for Netball City, but there's still more work to be done. We have done work for cricket, but there's still more work to be done. And we continue to work. What I can say to you is that over the last 2 years, we have made deliberate efforts to re-envision what Warner Park could be and what sports tourism and sports development for St. Kitts and Nevis for the next 20 years could be. And working closely with the federations and the Olympic Association, we have on board now a methodologist that's going to be planning the next maybe 2 decades of sports development in the federation. And we are just about 70 to 80% through the complete redesign of the entire Warner Park facility. And in fact, I will show you that personally after this press conference so you can see where we are at. But that is being designed to be unveiled in April for the 100th anniversary of the acquisition of the area. If you have information on the history, Warner Park was acquired in 1926, but it was fully unveiled in 1928. Our plans is to unveil the new Warner Park in 2026 and should be cutting ribbons to a new facility by 2028 after construction. So that is the current plan in motion, and in the design is just about 75 to 80% through. And I will pass that on to Permanent Secretary if there's anything she wishes to add.
Good morning all. The Minister would have answered your questions comprehensively, except to add that, yes, we are in active discussion with the St. Kitts Swim Federation to ensure that all official documentation, all official titles that show ownership to the land are handed over. So that is what we're currently trying to tie up. But everything else the Minister said about the Warner Park, the unveiling, all of that is on track, as the Minister would have said.
Thank you very much, Raspi. And that was the press conference by the Honorable Samuel Duggins, the Minister of Sports et al. And that was the Q4, quarter 4. So he was speaking about the last part, October, November, December of 2025. And I'm extremely glad to hear about this. I mentioned it earlier, about after all these years, the lands are being made available. I don't remember hearing a size where it's a quarter acre, an acre, 2 acres, 5 acres. I don't remember. But I compliment the government for moving on this. And my understanding is, in all fairness towards the Labour administration, St. Kitts and Nevis Labour Party government, in all fairness to them, my understanding is the request was initially made on the team unity administration. So that was, this government took office in August 2022. My understanding it was made before that to the previous administration. So I commend the current administration for getting this organized. I am suspecting there will be a handing over ceremony of the certificate of title, the deed, or whatever it is, the official document to say, St. Kitts and Nevis Aquatic Federation, here we are. These are the deeds, the certificates of title for this land, a quarter acre, 2 acres. I'm hoping it'll be sizable, and I'm hoping they'll have parking. So the Aquatic Federation could do fundraisers on the breakfast, lunch, dinner, Sunday activity, whatever, I don't know. And I'm really glad for them. I'm really proud for them. And I must congratulate the St. Kitts and Nevis Labour Party administration, the Honorable Samuel Duggins, for this, doing this. It comes on the heel, like he said, basketball city. And it was in a complete state of disrepair, but they have addressed it. So that's a super thing. I'm the president of the St. Kitts and Nevis Table Tennis Association. 80%, 90% of my life I've spent involved in sports. I was never really a good sportsman. I hope I'm a little better administrator than I was a sportsman. I've been all sorts of coaching and administration. I have a level 1 certificate in basketball, in volleyball. I have a D license, local D license in football, and I'm an international table tennis umpire. I was a FIFA referee. So I've spent a lot of time. I've been a qualified umpire since 1986, 84, 85, 87. So I've been involved in a lot of sports. As a matter of fact, when persons heard I was the director of culture, they expected me to be the director of sports because of my background in sports, etc. Not just as a player, but president of this, secretary of that. And but I felt comfortable because I was always a cultural man. And I think I gave the story. One year when I was in grade 1 or grade 2, it was January, we came back from the Christmas holidays. And the teacher, she's talking and they're walking around watching books. And while she's talking, I draw in a masquerade and I draw in a bull in my book. I don't know why. Yes, they came around the Christmas. Yes, I saw them. But when she came and she saw what I was doing, she washed me out good and plenty. And it was only after, sometimes, when I became the director of culture, I realized what may have been happening back then and when I was in kindergarten, grade 1, grade 2, and I went to school at 5, so that would have been 68. So this is about 69, 1968, 69, maybe 1970, somewhere in there. And it's because of the culture in me. I had an intrinsic part of me being involved in culture. But I've been heavily involved in sports. So I really, really appreciate that. And more so, what it does, it gives me and the table tennis fraternity hope that we will be able to get a place, a home of our own, where we can, 1, have meetings, 2, store equipment, 3, practice, where people could go and practice 10 o'clock in the morning. There's a former national player. He's sad to say he's lost interest because he can't wake up one morning 11 o'clock and say, hey, I'm going here to play some table tennis, whether by himself, with somebody else, I don't know, which is sad. And this is really close to my heart, a place for table tennis, because we haven't made a big issue about it. But our table tennis boards were thrown out from a community center where we practice. We were told there isn't any space in the community center to hold the boards, and we needed to get them out. We weren't as fast, getting around to it as fast as we could have, and they were thrown out. When I said thrown out, I don't mean throw as in mash up. They were rolled outside of the building, put on the veranda, the landing, the porch, wherever you want to call it, exposed to the elements, the sun and the wind and the damage, because we know people malicious. So that's the kind of treatment we have been getting with table tennis. Our equipment being pushed out by a government department. And I indicated to the lady that I'll speak about it. We haven't been making a big issue about it, but with this, I'm remembering that, and it pains me heart. It really, really, really pains me heart. So we are having hope that this may happen. The challenge is, how much this is going to cost? $1.5 million? And of course, we would like to see some dormitories. So you could bring in a club from Anguilla to play, and then we have a dormitory where they could sleep, and we get some people go up and cook for them. So those are the 2 big bills. But obviously, and let's be realistic, the government can build a home for table tennis, and then a home for volleyball, and then an indoor facility for basketball, and then another facility for something else. It will have to be a multiple sport venue. I remember when Mr. Stanley Knight was the permanent secretary for sports, we were youth sports and culture at that time. He actually spent some money because he had a plan, he had a vision, and this was when the Honorable Sean Richards was the Minister of Education, Youth, Sports and Culture. And Mr. Knight's vision, Stanley Knight, was take up the whole of Carnival City, put a Carnival City someplace, and use Carnival City and that part of Bastay High School, where the home concert used to be. When you go into Bastay High School, the buildings on your right, the sewing and all of that, and have a multi-purpose building, not only for sports. Graduations could be held there, concerts could be held there, and the seats, he got some diagrams from gymnasiums and buildings in the US where the seats can be pulled out, and then when you finish them, you push them back and provide more space. And I like the idea. The concept was made somewhere, and the next election, when there was a new Minister of Sports, the Honorable John L. Powell, he had a different vision. Stanley Knight and the Honorable Sean Richards, their vision was, let us say, go east. Where is east? West, east. East is Newtown. Let's go east. And when the Honorable John L. Powell came in, he said, boy, no, we ain't going east. Let's go west, which is a problem I have. Yes, everybody got different views, different vision. It's one thing when there's a government change, but it's one thing when the same government, same party in, but the minister changes, all of a sudden, the visions, no man, I don't believe in that. There must be continuity. I guess everybody wants to say, oh, this is what I build. But maybe that's the way. Maybe I'm too naive, I don't know. But the Minister of Sports, he had a meeting with the what they call national associations last week, Thursday, I think it was. And I commend him for that, because that is the first time since he has been in office that he has had a meeting with national associations that I could record. And the sad part about it, there was table tennis, there was cricket, there was football, there was volleyball, there was basketball, there was tennis, lawn tennis. 6 of us are missing. Basketball, lawn tennis, volleyball, track and field. I think they had track and field. Handball. Yes, those were the 8 associations. Lawn tennis, table tennis, basketball, handball, volleyball, football, cricket, who I just missed. There were about 8 of them. There was no netball. And just now we heard him in the interview speaking about Warner Park and these different facilities, including netball. Regrettably and unfortunately, nobody from netball was there. And it was painful for me, because I was also the president of the Sandy Point Netball Association back in 1998 to 2002, somewhere down there. And my daughter, she loves netball. She gave up track and field and football for netball. And I believe she could have gone on to make the national team, especially football. And she may have been the captain. I think she gets her skills from her mother. She's sporting skills from her mother. But anyway, so I commend the minister highly for having that. And they have some plans for Warner Park and the 100th anniversary. And it's a case where we can't, I really don't think we could afford to have a venue for all these centers. And the accommodation part came in, that might be a phase 2. But I don't know. Table tennis, we need a home. We need some place to play. That we know our boards are not going to be pushed out and put in the veranda. Storage. As a matter of fact, right now, there are some 8 items we ordered in December, table tennis items, equipment, we ordered in December. Some are here already, which myself and the treasurer are going to be clearing tomorrow. Others are on their way here, while other equipment up at my mailbox in the US to be shipped. Well, I'm hoping they get here before the end of the year so we could capitalize, the end of the month, so we could capitalize on the duty-free thing. And guess what? The funeral we went to this afternoon for the coach, the late Mr. Irvin Priman, he got some table tennis equipment for the SKNTT home in the house here. Because we ain't got no space. And guess what? I got some home in my house too, because we ain't got no space. And get what? The immediate past president of the SKNTTA, he got some equipment home in the house, because we ain't got no space. And guess what? Them equipment coming in, the first, well, I believe in get the equipment first, and then we heard about the space. I might ask Raspy if he could come and chuck them in the corner, chuck them under his bed. I don't know. But you might get involved in table tennis. You might learn to play table tennis. And you might even forget about being a DJ. I don't know. No time. But the treasurer, I talking to the treasurer and say, why, where we going to put these equipment, why? The treasurer put up in hand, well, why, you could put them home by me. I was hoping he said that. And I thank him for that, Mr. Craig McDowell. So when the equipment come, we're going straight from West Tech to his home. And West Tech, I'm hoping that I'll be able to speak to you and get a sponsor for On the Ball, or even the sports news. And so the equipment coming, we don't spend a couple $100. Most of it we're going to get because the pieces come It's about $8,000 easy worth of equipment. But I guess because of how they come, we ain't got to pay the duty on them because it's for $400 easy worth of equipment. So some come $200 and something, $300 and something value and all kind of things. But the treasurer put up being on a space. We had some brand new boards in the Sandy Point Community Center. And this of all things hurt me because I'm from SP where the best be. I love Sandy Point. I don't think anybody else in the world loves Sandy Point more than me, except me. The left side might love Sandy Point more than the right side, or vice versa. The top love Sandy Point more than the bottom. And my vice president and I, who's vice president is a coach, we took a tour of the Sandy Point Community Center. 1, it wasn't locked. 2, it had on some windows in some cases. We bought $100 and something worth of locks, heavy, thick, solid locks, to put them in, put on a door, iron door, the little room where we have some equipment, boards and things like that. Some of them brand new in boxes. We gone down there. All the boards just thrown on the floor. They knock the locks off. All the boards thrown on the floor. And this is at the Sandy Point Community Center. And guys, somebody or people urinate on the board, defecate on the boards. So the boards are on the ground. Let me try. The boards are gone all kind of how. And somebody defecate on the board, urinate on the board. So those boards gone in. And they had about 4 boards in boxes, ANUZ. We got 10, we set up 6. The plan was to set up these and put them in other community centers. Plus we had some other boards from before. So we desperately need a storage. We desperately need a storage. So I'm glad that this is happening. So this plus Warner Park, there's a Calypsonian a few years ago. What was his name? But I hear the song, There's Hope for Us. Crusoe. There's hope for us. And I think there's hope for us getting a home. With the Warner Park, we are supposed to get something in there. And in 97, 97 when we were renovating Warner Park for the World Cup, I wasn't in support of what we have there now at all. I was in support of moving football out of the park, developing the whole thing for cricket, or moving cricket out the park, developing the whole thing for football. And when I say moving cricket or football out the park, build a nice fancy stadium. But of course, it wouldn't have been cricket moving because what it is called Warner Park, and you heard the minister said, it was given to the St. Kitts Cricket Association in 1926. However, it was operationalized or something in 1928. Mr. Warner, don't know his first name, who was an estate owner. I don't know if he liked cricket, his wife liked cricket or whatever. But he actually gave that 4 or 5 acres, whatever the size is, to the St. Kitts Cricket Association to play cricket. And that is one of the reasons, if not the only reason, why the name is still Warner Park after 100 and something years, 100 years. I think there were some legal documents signed to say it will remain there. I'm subject to correction. But anyway, why Raspy? I tell people the year nearly done by. Me you know the show nearly done? Is so much Biff like to talk, why Raspy? Why somebody go talk to Biff about he and all this talk, you know? I didn't realize that Biff to talk so much, why? But I made reference to the AFCON final between Senegal and Morocco. That game was played maybe 2 weeks ago. And let us hear a clip from Sky Sports about the same thing that I was just talking about.
From the Confederation of African Football about the AFCON final between Morocco and Senegal, which Senegal went on to win. It says the Confederation of African Football condemns the unacceptable behaviour of some officials during the Africa Cup of Nations final between Morocco and Senegal in Rabat last night. CAF strongly condemns any inappropriate behaviour which occurs during matches, especially refereeing team match organisers. CAF is reviewing all footage and appropriate action taken against those found guilty.
AFCON final now, goodness me. It was a dramatic match which saw Senegal head coach Pape Thiaw direct his players off the pitch in an extraordinary protest in the final. It was after this late VAR awarded penalty for Morocco in the dying minutes of normal time. Now, goodness me, what is the referee's responsibility in this particular situation? I mean, it was utter chaos. How do you try and keep a sense of calm? Is there anything you can do?
I think you've used the right word, Hayley. You've got to stay calm, you've got to stay focused, you've got to stay composed, and you've just got to hope. I feel for the referee, you know, it's probably one of the biggest games of his life.
Yeah.
You know, he's in that environment and it's suddenly out of his hands because he can't physically go and wrestle them players back on. There's going to be big, serious... I think there'll be repercussions anyhow, but the repercussions have been massive if they haven't come back out.
Can I just say one thing after we're going to go back? Like, when I was watching that game on commentary, I think this big whole situation happened because earlier on in the tournament, there was talk that Morocco were getting the benefit of the doubt in certain situations because they was a home nation. Okay. And when we see the initial foul for the goal that was disallowed on Hakimi, it was very soft. It was They were both kind of pushing and shoving with their hands, but they were both looking at the ball. I think it was the defender that won the header, come off the crossbar, someone put it in. But the referee, like Dermot always says, the referee blew his whistle so fast. And it was a situation where if he had just given himself time to wait and assess the situation, he probably wouldn't have made that bad situation. The ball goes up the other end, and again, it was another really soft decision on Diaz, where I think it's Diouf has put his arm around. Yeah, he's had his hand on his neck, but when you freeze it, it can look a certain way. But it was really soft again, and the referee gives the penalty. That's when the manager and everyone started, you know, there was a big Caracas on the side, everyone's arguing, the players are arguing. And actually Diaz went up to the referee and it looked like he convinced the referee to give the decision. And that's when all this started. And that's when the manager was like, get everyone off the pitch, go into the dressing room. Like, when we think about this African nations now, it's not going to be because of the football match. It's going to be because of this incident. And that's a shame, really. I know it's ref watch, but a lot of you know, the news that I've seen is there was a big commotion in the game. Look at this, but the game was won by this goal. So that came first, and then the goal came secondary, where it should be the opposite way around. But I mean, like I said, I mean, this kind of thing can't happen because it doesn't look good.
What's the most chaotic game that you've ever been involved in as a referee? Anything like that?
Must be one with Man United.
No, I had a game in the FIFA military games with the Ivory Coast against Syria, and the Ivory Coast had to get a draw. They were 2-1 down. It was all right, and then suddenly went 3-1 down, and discipline just got lost. And I sent 3 players off in 24 minutes. They just completely lost their discipline.
Did you regret any of the decisions?
I made sure I was close to a security man when I blew the final whistle.
Joe, what about you? Just quickly, go on. Can you remember a decision that annoyed you so much that you would have walked off the pitch or wanted to?
Thank you very much.
I know, I was going to say some of Dermot's was terrible.
That clip is about 8 minutes, but we played half of it. I think we got the gist of it. I'm still unclear. Though the competition has been done, Senegal won 1-0, I'm still unclear what is going to happen, who is going to do what. There seems to be a general view that some disciplinary measures are going to happen against Senegal. And like I said earlier, once a team walk off the pitch, that team is forfeiting the match. Really. Sometimes you have to consider the spirit of the game. Because I had a situation like that. I was taken to task. It was a Leeward Islands game in the park. It was a 50-over match, I believe. It was a 50-over competition between St. Kitts and Antigua. Something with the Antigua player, he wasn't too happy about what the captain had done, was telling him. I think the captain told him, "Why go off the field, let sub come." Something like that. But he had to go off the field, and he refused to. And we held up. Once a player refused to continue, the captain decided he's not playing with this guy, you know. The captain said, "Why are you willing to forfeit the game if you don't go up?" The captain from Antigua and this player from Antigua. The guy walk and he walk and he walk all over, hold up the game for about 7 minutes, I think it was. But he came back and he eventually went off and the game continued. I felt in the spirit of the game and people come to see cricket and all kind of things, play the game. Me and the umpire, the other umpire was from Antigua, from St. Martin, and he was leaning on my experience. I was much more experienced than him. And of course, he had his view. And when I made the suggestion, he said, "Boy, I understand, I can work with that. So I support that." But I was taken to task, obviously by members of the St. Kitts Spectatorship Association, saying, "Boy, you should have called off the match and give Antigua." But maybe that was the right thing to do. Maybe I made a mistake. So what is happening here with referee and game stop, I mean, it may not be easy, but so we're still, I don't believe we've seen the final of this. I think we're going to get more to come. But hey, speaking about more to come, and remember I said we got all kind of things we could touch. Basketball, Haley Matthews, she took a break, she's back, she's energized. And we got a lot of politics happening, you know. In the ICC World Cup, that's going to start next month, in 2 weeks' time, 3 weeks' time. A lot of politics in the place. And mind you, when I say politics, please, I don't mean Pam and Labour and CCM and NRP. Politics. I'm talking about politics, Barbados. They're going to be having elections February the 11th, I think. The Prime Minister, Mia Mottley, she already wrote the writs of election, send them to the president. They don't have a governor general. I think they're a republic. So they have a president telling him dissolve the house. But I believe the house don't dissolve, yeah. Yeah, dissolve the house sometime nomination day, sometime next week, and elections week after, something. But she's extremely confident. And I believe she's going to win. But we ain't talking that kind of politics. We know the situation. Well, I shouldn't say we know. You may be familiar with the situation with Pakistan and India. These guys like so. The border of one is the border of the other. And these guys, though, the war, like crazy. I don't know what happened. I don't know why they war. And I don't know if one of them thief somebody land and whatever. But some of the time, I heard, I don't know how it is, some of the time, the soldiers on both sides walking in the other. Sometimes they say, "But I forget about the politics. Let's go play a game of cricket." And they, just imagine, the soldiers, you know, Pakistan and Indian players, they gonna forget the war, man. Put the war on pause. Let's go play some cricket. And they're having fun. But for the World Cup, which is being played in India, for whatever reason or reasons, I have to get some background information. Bangladesh decide, and it's not playing in India only. I think it's playing in India and Sri Lanka, I think it is. And Bangladesh say, "Well, look, we ain't gonna play no game in India, you know. So put us to play a game in Sri Lanka." And the powers that be say, "No, not all, not a thing. Go say you're gonna play a game in thing, otherwise you forfeit." Bangladesh said, "Okay, so you go." Poof. We pull out. We ain't going India for nothing, so we pull out. So Scotland replace Bangladesh. And I think they're in the group with West Indies. So Scotland is in, Bangladesh is out. However, the politics ain't done there yet, you know. Because Pakistan still iffy, you know. I don't know if you recall sometime last year in the, what cup it was, the ICC trophy, which was being played in Pakistan, I think it is. India said, "We ain't going in Pakistan, you know." So the Indian games were shifted to Dubai. Some persons agreed with it. Like anything else, you're going to have a coin got two sides, well, actually three. Some persons say, "But I agree with them." Other persons say, "But no, you know, they should have played them there. If they want, don't show up. Because there's the general feeling that India can have by quite a few pundits, spectators, who believe that India controls world cricket. India controls ICC, England dangle them. That's the general a general discussion will be here, because so many things, it appears, are being twisted and tweeted and bent to accommodate India, especially with them in the ICC trophy playing in Dubai, all the matches in Dubai. And why this politics serious here? They had a competition, another competition in Asia Cup, and I didn't pay a lot of attention to that. But it was the same kind of politics again. The winner, they refused to take the trophy from the president, who was... Let me put an example to paint the picture. Please, this is not the scenario. I'm just using it as an example within the current political structure. You just heard me say Bangladesh not going England, so India. So they withdraw. So let's use that. Let us say Bangladesh won the championship and they were to get the trophy, the prize given with cash money from the president of the Asia Cup Federation, who is an Indian. Bangladesh decided, no, we ain't shaking no Indian hand because we got politics and war going on. So that's how serious this thing is, eh? Serious, and sad. So Pakistan, people still watching them with a cock eye because they're feeling that they might decide at some point that, hey, we ain't going India to play, no. We ain't going India. And these things are real, eh? And sometimes it's not the government, sometimes it's not the people close to the game, sometimes it is. Because I don't know if you remember, when was it? In the 2010s sometime, 2007 maybe, that, was it the West Indies team? A team got bombed in Sri Lanka. And because of that, ICC said no cricket in Sri Lanka for one whole heap of years. About 2 years ago, I think, West Indies went back and played in Sri Lanka, the first team to do that in 18 years, something to the effect. And it may not have been players or something. You just got some weird people. You just got some people that you don't know how they think. But Elimat has a song, That's the World Today. So we got to wait and see how the Pakistan thing, if they're going, if they ain't going. And we going to see how it goes. And we're getting close to go. We bought cricket, we bought football, netball. Why World Netball? Remember, we held a CAC, which is the Caribbean and Central America, Central America and the Caribbean. We had it was an America's male tournament, male netball tournament in St. Kitts and Nevis. And I was following World Netball. They had some male netball tournament in 2 countries, and they were bigging up the winners and things like that. So male netball is going to come a serious thing. I think I have to do some warm-up and run around my bed 3, 4, 5 times, maybe 7 times, to lose a quarter ounce or half ounce off the girth. And I think I might get involved in some male netball. I mean, I don't know. How I should say that. There's a particular school of thought that a particular set of people get involved. Only a particular set of people play male netball. So I would want, if I play male netball, I'll be considered to be a part of that particular set of people. I mean, my programming manager, Flames, DJ Flames, he's here, he's from Jamaica. I mean, I don't know if he play male netball. I don't know if he's that way inclined. My producer for the show, Raspy, he over there enjoying himself. Maybe he thinking about it. I don't know. But it won't be a good thing for me to play that, male netball. I used to play football. I used to goalkeep. I play a little bit of basketball, a little bit of volleyball. So I might make out. But male netball is becoming a very, very big thing. And if I look at my notes quickly, let me see what I didn't touch. If I go into sports, give me a sec here, as I had to send the items to this place so I could know what we got to talk about. Where is it? Here we are. Bif Sports. And say good night to, forgive me. Say good night to my uncle, Mr. Neville Weeks. He's up in Miami. Is it right to say Miami? Is it Miami he be? Yeah. And for the T20 World Cup I was referring to, India, Group A. In Group A, we have India, Pakistan, USA, Namibia, and the Netherlands. And the way they are listed, it's easy for you to get the impression that that is going to be the position after the group stage, the round robin stage. India, Pakistan, USA, Namibia, Netherlands. Don't think those three look going to be threatening. In Group B, Australia, Sri Lanka. Okay. Then you have Zimbabwe, Ireland, Oman. I mean, Zimbabwe, they haven't been so strong as of late. Group C, England, West Indies, Italy. Whoever here, Italy playing cricket? Italy, Scotland, Nepal. Nepal beat West Indies already, eh? So England there, okay, and Group D. Some people believe Group D. When it comes to these competitions, there's always a group of death. Always. What that means, more than half of the team, maybe 75%, maybe 100%. Only 2 teams going through, so 2 going home. And the teams in the zone, the group so hard, that is a cutthroat and things. And people believe Group D is it. Group D, South Africa, New Zealand, Afghanistan. UAE and Canada. We can't take players off of Afghanistan. And just like how we can't take players off of Bangladesh, because Bangladesh would have been in the West Indies, England zone along with Italy, Nepal. But Bangladesh is out and Scotland is in. The group of that, South Africa, New Zealand, Afghanistan, okay, maybe. Because Afghanistan ain't a rollover. Bangladesh and Afghanistan, they may not be so good at test cricket, but especially T20 and the 50 overs, but especially T20. These guys got some of the top all-rounders in the world, like in the top 10 and so. So we're going to have to wait and see how that works out. And the ICC, the West Indies squad, they named the squad the latest, eh? Most people, almost everybody don't name the squad West Indies. They were a little late, so to speak. Shehope is the captain. And what I realize, especially with the West Indies, a lot of people don't name a vice captain. I believe in naming a vice captain for at least 2 reasons. One, it motivates the person, but of course it might bring about cutthroat, because if Raspi is supposed to be the vice captain and they name me, some people might get vexed and want to go all kind of things. But the West Indies team, Shehope, he is the captain and it's a 15-man team, not in any particular order. Johnson Charles, some people believe it's time to say thank you to him. Washington Chase, Matthew Ford, he's a youngster coming on. Sherman Hetmeyer, I believe he has been the biggest disappointment in West Indies cricket. He has been going and coming and he has been on the wrong side of some decisions with the management, telling them his grandmother sick or some relative of him sick and leaving countries, coming back home, only to find out that nothing to all go so. But plus he had put on a couple ounces or 4. And he was the West Indies captain of the under-19 team when they won the T20 World Cup in 2016. That was the year West Indies created a record, which I don't believe may very well be equaled. The West Indies senior men team in 2016, they won the World Cup. I think it was a 50-over World Cup. The West Indies female won the World Cup, and the West Indies under-19 won the World Cup the same year, 2016. And Shimron Hetmeyer, he was the captain. Then you have Jason Holder. I believe Jason Holder is supposed to be playing all formats cricket, eh? But I don't know. Akil Hussain, people believe Akil Hussain might very well be the next West Indies captain. Shamar Joseph, he's back from injuries, nice to see. I think he got injured in the CPL last year for a diving catch. It looks good, and I was concerned about him, and he came up and he was flexing his arm and he was out. Brandon King. People believe that Brandon King not supposed to be there, but he make a century sometime in something, so how could you leave him out? Gudakesh Moti, he's been having some in and out. Roveman Powell, Shofane Rutherford, Quinton Sampson. Quinton Sampson, he from Guyana. People were surprised that he made it. People surprised that he not supposed to be in it. And he made the team for a recent tournament there. You have Jaden Seals and you have Romario Shepard. Jaden Seals. There's somebody conspicuously missing. I can't put it. Jaden Seals. But anyway, so that's the 15. We wish them well. And we're going to the West Indies T20 Blaze champions, the Leeward Islands. And only about 2 years ago, they won their first match in this competition. And then they went on after some years. As a matter of fact, in interviewing the coach, Sly Percy Daniel, what he said was in 2016, that is when St. Kitts and Nevis started playing female cricket. And about 8 of the ladies went to the Windward Islands to join up with the Windward Islands to have a mixed team, combined islands, females, in the West Indies tournament. In 2016, Leeward was able to enter a team on their own. It's only about 3 years ago that Leeward won the first match, 3, 4 years ago, maybe 2 years ago. I don't know. And he said the coach of the West Indies senior female team told him he liked what he saw. And if that group of ladies, a little bit of old, a little bit of not so old, a little bit of young, if they stay together for 2-3 years, they're going to win the West Indies Championship. And true to form, they didn't only win it, they created history. History. And some persons may not like to hear me say this, but I believe in any tournament, Leeward Island players, male or female, when they're playing, you should look at that player and say, that got to be a West Indies player. Because in my view, no matter what level, West Indies players are supposed to be head and shoulders above everybody. I remember a few years ago, and this happened before 1997, because there was the CHA pitch, there was the center pitch, and there was the pitch down by the football side. And I came in the park, and Antigua was playing St. Kitts on the CHA pitch. And I was told that the pitches were actually a renowned pitch and a St. Christopher pitch, I think it is, a progressive pitch. But anyway, St. Kitts was playing Antigua on the pitch closest to CHA at the time. They used to call it the CHA pitch. And this guy was batting, and he was looking pretty, man. Easy, cool, calm. And I had to ask, who this guy is? Who he be, where he come from? And somebody tell me his name, Bouncing Williams. Not Bouncing Williams, Bouncing Joseph. My apologies to the family of the late Bouncing Williams. And so when I asked who he be, they tell me, oh, he's a West Indies player. And I wasn't surprised, because I saw the quality in his batting, looking cool, looking calm, looking in control, looking confident. He looked like he got a bat for 10 days. Nobody could have get him out. And that is how I believe, male and female, West Indies players are supposed to be when they come down to play in the West Indies Championship and when they come to play Leeward's Championship, and even when they're playing in local cricket. So for what I'm trying to say is, Jazara Claxton, for example, if there's a league in Sandy Point and she plays, you're supposed to watch her by batting, bowling, fielding, and all. She got to be a West Indies player, because she's supposed to be head and shoulders above the others. That is my view. And, well, we got to know more about that. It's just about wrapping up time. I see me producer watching me with a cock eye. And, oh yes, there was something I must say before I go. There's a new umpires and scoring association being formed. It will be formalized over the next few days. And if you are interested in becoming a qualified cricket umpire, or you're interested in becoming a certified scorer, maybe you just like cricket and you want to brush up on the laws, you want to have an understanding of the laws of the game, you are asked to call 3 persons. You are asked to call a gentleman by the name of Troy Bif Mills. His number is 668-2055. That is Troy Bif Mills. Or maybe you're closer, maybe you're better, maybe you walk out to boy, Bill is more handsome than Troy Bif Mills. You are asked to call the second option, Mr. Eardley Nisbet, better known as Bill. His number is 669-0339, 669-0339. And there's a third gentleman by the name of Rudolph Watley, aka Rudy. You can call him to register, ask a question, to say, hey, I want to register my daughter, my son, or I want to register and be trained. And Rudy's number is 663-2988. So there are 3 options. You can call Rudolph Watley, 663-2988. He's the tallest of the 3 of us. Or if you want to call the better looking one, better looking than Biff, you can call Eardley Nisbet at 669-0339 or Troy Bif Mills at 668-2055. And umpires exams are coming up. There are 3 umpires exams. And if you want to come to the training but you don't want to sit the exams, that is okay. And we're going to inform you when we're going to be doing the training, what day, what time, what venue. There are 3 exams to become a fully qualified umpire. There's the Leeward Islands Cricket Umpires Association's preliminary exams. The exam is set by Lisue, Leeward Islands, and it is marked by Lisue. The headquarters is in Nevis right now. The president is in Nevis, the secretary from St. Kitts. And then, after you sit that exam and pass, and the pass mark is 60%, then you umpire for a year to get some practice and experience to better help you, better prepare you for the second exam, which is called the final written exam. And that exam is written by the West Indies Cricket Umpires Association, WISUA, and marked by WISUA. The pass mark for the final written, I think, is 70%. And then you umpire for another year. And then there's the third and the final exam, which we call the practical and oral. The pass mark for that is 80%. And once you pass that, you get your certificate. You can umpire test matches. Of course, it's not as easy as that, because you have to do Leeward Islands matches, and then once you perform good and you get good ratings and you're physically fit, then you umpire Leeward's WINN was Jamaica versus Barbados. And once you do there and you do well, you get onto the umpires ICC junior list, and you keep going up elite until you reach the elite level. So if you're interested in taking this umpire serious, and even if you're playing cricket, it's okay, because we believe that you playing cricket, if you were to be trained as an umpire, you're going to play better cricket. You understand the laws, you know how far to go. And this great classical composer named Mozart, he said it is good to know the rules, the laws of anything, so you could know how to bend them without breaking them. Sad to say, he's right. So if you want to become a fully qualified umpire, certified scorer, or just brush upon the laws, become familiar. And the younger you are, the better it is for you to go on to serious levels. The younger you are, the better it is for you to go on to serious levels. Umpiring Leeward Islands tournament, and then these first-class matches, etc., etc. So give us a call. You're on the competent persons. All 3 persons mentioned, they have been fully qualified for some years. I got fully qualified in 1987. I've been umpiring since 1984. So 87 till now. That's 13 and 26. Wow, that's 39 years, boy. Biff is so old, you be, boy? You're so old, Biff is 39 years you're umpiring? Boy, I started umpiring in 1984. And how old was boy? 20-something? 21, 23? Because I like the game of cricket, but I really couldn't play. So while everybody went to play, I went to umpire. And I achieved quite a bit in umpiring, and I am proud of it, and I thank the Almighty for giving me that. But anyway, that is something. If you're interested in umpiring, call Biff, and I'll clarify it for us. And we have a few persons already said, yes, I am a part of your association. That is the new association being formed. Some persons have put up their hand and said, yes, I am a part. Register me as a member of your association. Others say, which is fine. We don't have a problem with that. It makes sense. Why? That sounds good. I want to be a part. But could I come to your first meeting and see how you all sound and you all handle yourself? And then I decide on that. And of course, we say, fine, we don't have a problem. Because when we finish with you, you're going to wonder why you wasted time when you didn't register from the word go. So if you're not anybody who want to become fully qualified umpire, certified scorers, whether it's a cousin, your neighbor, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, or your boyfriend, girlfriend, or your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever it is, tell them, call me, call Bill, call Watley. And we going to work it out, and we going to train you. Of course, we're training you to not pass the exam. We're not training you to pass the exam. We're training you to get 100%. It's up to you if you want to get 199. But we are going to prepare you good and plenty to pass the exam. At this stage, gentlemen, I think I have to pop out. I see my producer watching me with a cock eye and the production manager wondering what I'm doing here still. But it was my pleasure and my apology. My guest was on no show tonight. And I could have made some calls and try to get somebody here. But I felt they had enough material, so time fly. And some people said they didn't know Troy Bif Mills could have talked so much. Well, I didn't know that either. I don't know who get. I think he might have get he talking from his father. Why his father could have talked, And I believe that is when my brother know get the talking from. And any of my children, them, the talkative boy, one of them could talk, The other one of them shy bad. But anyway, so it was a pleasure being here tonight. And we touched some football, we touched cricket, we touched Australian Open, the first Grand Slam for the year. And it was a pleasure being here. Time fly. I told people since the 1st of January, the year gone done fast. It's already 27 days in the year. And if you ask me what I do for the year, I can't tell you because I went by poof. And guess what? The shortest month of the year coming behind that. So it's poof, poof, double poof. Just like that, you're going to disappear. Poof. I like that. But it was nice having you here. We're going to be back again from 7 o'clock next week to 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock. And Mr. Sly Post Daniel, he should be back here by then, along with there were 4 Kittian ladies who made the West Indies team, the Leeward Islands senior female team. 4 St. Kitts ladies from St. Kitts. Jazara Claxton is one. There's Ilia Weeks, which is another. I think it was Davinique, what's the young lady's name? Davinique, pardon me. And there was a 4th. But congratulations to them for winning. So we're going to have Sly here with perhaps 1 or 2 of them next week, God spare, and talk about their experiences, what's next for them. And the zonal track on the field, they already had 2 or 3, East Zone, West Zone, that Bastille private zone. I need to ask a question for the heck of me. I cannot understand the logic. Well, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm not thinking at that level. Maybe the thinking is way above my head. Why are we having zonal track and field championships before the schools have their different sports day to select the national team? I am firmly of the view that the process should be the schools have the sport day, and after the schools have the sport day, then you have the zonal competition for them to get a little sharper. A week or 2 before, a week or 2 after, then you have the primary school championships. It's going to be sponsored by the farmer sponsors. I don't know if they're going to continue. And to me, this will, one, make a better product for the the zonal competitions, Rural East, Rural West, Bar State St. Peter's, and the private schools. To me, that's going to make a much, much better competition. 2, it will build the vibes and build the athletes for a better product of the mini Olympics. That's what they're calling the primary school championship. And I've never been to one, I reached close. I reached close, very close. I reached Reggae Beach. But I was 8 minutes away from going over and I didn't go there. I think I'd really like to be there one of these days. I don't know if I'm going to make it this year, God's spare. I know the Nevis Island Assembly, they used to give a half holiday. I don't know if they did that last year. But could you imagine? They want all the parents, everybody to go out and watch the young Maritza Williamses and the young Kim Collinses and all kind of things. And they give a half holiday. But anyway, we're out of here. We got to go. We got to go. And it was nice being here. And please meet me on the road. Give me your suggestions. Tell me what you don't like about me or my show or whatever it is. Talk to me. Let's have a conversation because that's the only way I'll be able to better serve you. That's the only way I'll be able to make you as listeners to WINN FM 98.9 and on the ball better. We relish your feedback. We want your feedback. Please, please, please. I mean, if my white shirt ain't look white enough, tell me about it. I'll probably get my production manager give me a different color shirt out of his wardrobe or something. But anyway, again, if you want to become umpire, call me, call Bill, call Watley. We're going to be back next week. Football playing in the park, First Division, Premier Division, all kind of things happening. Congratulations to those 5 players from Debe who went to Poland. We wish them well. I would really like to see all 5 stay. If one stay, the others come, I'll be very, very happy with that. Congrats to the Leeward Islands female. Best wishes to them. Best wishes, well, the senior men lost to Afghanistan in the T20 World Cup. The West Indies on the 19 tournament that's happening. They're into the Super 6 stages. So we say congratulations to them and hope they go through all the way. And please be patient when you are driving, or else you may become a patient, or it may be worse. If you're drinking, don't drive. If you're driving, don't drink. If you're going to drink, get somebody a driver who not drinking. Be aware on the road. We've had a few accidents. Please be aware. As I leave, always be positive in your thoughts, in your words, and in your actions. Have a good night. See you next week, Tuesday, God's spare. Be safe.
Do you want to know what's happening in sport? Tune into On The Ball, a weekly tour show which is on WINN FM 98.9 every Tuesday from 7 to 9 p.m. with me, your host, Troy Bif Mills. We will keep you on the ball with our variety of guests and, of course, your calls, discussing the facts and the stats and sharing your opinions. Get on the ball and stay on the ball by tuning into On The Ball with Troy Bif Mills on WINN FM 98.9 every Tuesday night from 7 to 9 p.m. and also on Facebook and YouTube. Be on the ball.